Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, this is kind of a follow-up to my video from yesterday on the little Riverbend Skinner from RoseCraft Blades. Had some feedback on that video, a couple people requesting a comparison with the little Riverbend with the large bow trapper from Ryder. Now, as we know, all three designed by our good friend Andy Armstrong. And people just wanted to see the differences. Now, it's the same basic design, you could say, but there are some differences. Now, right off the bat, you can look at them here on the table. I'll try to zoom in just a little bit more for you and kind of see the differences as we take a look right now. So, the obvious visual differences right now, the large bow trappers from Ryder are 3-pin. The little Riverbend is a 5-pin design. You've got double lines on the bolsters for the Ryder. You've got a single line for the little Riverbend. The bolster on the Ryder sort of curves out, where on the little Riverbend it's more of a concave. It curves in. And one of the biggest differences you can see is the handles are basically the same shape, but on the little Riverbend it's slightly different. It's not quite as rounded, and it's definitely a little bit more robust of a handle. Now, as far as the overall curvature, it looks visually like the curvature of the handle on the little Riverbend is slightly less. And that could be the shape of the handle, how it flares here on the bottom a little bit more, but it does look like it's a little less of a curved handle to me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, obviously. And, one of the other big things we can see right now is both the Rough Riders have the match strike pulls, where the little Riverbend has a generic, if you will, nail neck, just a regular nail neck. Now, the obvious differences, or the not so obvious differences, but materials. That's a big difference, where the large bow trappers are both micarta. The little Riverbend is white bone. So that's a difference as well. Lanyard tubes look pretty much the same size as far as that goes. So let's open them up and we'll kind of take a look at a difference in the blade. Again, the overall shape is pretty similar, but it is slightly different. As you can see, the Rough Riders have a little bit of a more sleek, slimmer blade, where the blade of the little Riverbend, again, is a little bit more robust. It's a little taller, and it could be the grind as well, but it looks like the little Riverbend has a little bit more of a snub nose, where the bow trapper might be just a little bit more upswept. Again, that could be the grind that's kind of giving you that visual aspect, but it sure looks like it to me that it's got just a little bit more of a snub nose look to it. Now, I am going to zoom out just a little bit, and I'm gonna move this one out of the way a little bit, and we're gonna take a look at kind of the overall length of them, kind of the size and such. So overall length, they're pretty well the same. You're looking at just shy of, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just shy of 7 inches if I'm lined up right, which I'm pretty close. It looks like the bow trapper might be just slightly longer. And just when I mean slightly, I mean slightly. Now, the little Riverbend looks like the handle could be, and it's just so close, it's not even funny. You've basically got a 4-inch handle and a just shy of a 3-inch blade on either one. If we're talking any difference, it might be a 1/16 of an inch. It's really, really close. The blade on the little Riverbend, there again, you're looking at just shy of 3 inches, and just shy. Your cutting edge is going to be slightly over 2.5 on the large bow trapper. You're looking at, again, now your blade on that one is slightly over 3 inches, and your cutting edge is going to be about 2 3/4. So your cutting edge is a little bit more on the Little River, or excuse me, on the large bow trapper. So you've got slightly more cutting edge on the bow trapper than you do on the Little Riverbend. And blade material, that's different as well. Of course, the Rough Riders, you're looking at 440A, where on the Little Riverbend Skinner, you're looking at D2. Another difference, obviously, is going to be price. Materials are different. The price of the bow trappers, you're looking at right around $15. The price of the Little Riverbend, you're looking, I believe they're selling for $42.99. So, and just remember, with that, on any, if you go to RoseCraft Blades, if you go to our good friend Brian at Blue Creek Knives, I do have a coupon code there, so you can save yourself 10%. So it brings that price down to about 38-ish. You know, save that BigRedEDC, use that code, and you can save a little bit of cash on the Little Riverbend Skinner, wherever you go, RoseCraft Blades or Blue Creek Knives. So very good. But, and then obviously the shields are different. I mean, you've got the Rosebud shield on the RoseCraft, and then you have the sort of bomb-ish shaped shield from, or on the Rough Riders. So that's just, I mean, that's pretty much your comparison. I hope that is what you were looking for. There's not really, I mean, much more I can show you as far as difference. I mean, we can look at the backside, and it's really just more of the same. You know, the 5-pin versus the 3-pin, micarta versus bone. You know, it's pretty much there. You can kind of get a little bit of a look at the handle, the differences in the handle. See how this one kind of flares out a little bit more on the Little Riverbend, where the Rough Rider is more rounded off. And I don't know, does that give you a better look? It sure looks like to me that the Rough Rider has a little bit more curvature in the handle. Like I said, that could be due to the change in the shape of the handle, but I don't think so. I think it has slightly a little bit more curvature too. And I guess I could always hit up Andy and say, hey, is that right? He'd probably answer me. I don't know why he wouldn't, but just as a visual, it kind of looks that way to me for sure. So I hope this is what you guys were looking for. I hope that comparison kind of shows you a little bit of a difference. They're not exactly the same by any means. Obviously, the two bow trappers are. They're basically the same knife, just different colors, different liners. And I'll tell you one thing, the bow trapper has been one of my favorite Rough Riders since it came out. Absolutely 100%. I should probably do top 5 favorite Rough Rider knives. I might have to do that because that one would definitely be in there. Great little knife. Always loved it. And, you know, probably the biggest difference between the two is the overall quality, without a doubt. Obviously, materials raise price. Quality definitely raises the price. I mean, these are done very well. I mean, these are done pretty well. They have there's some minor gapping on it. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. They're done very well. And as I always say, Rough Riders, now that one's got a little bit, as you can see there with the brass liners, a little bit of gapping in there. Nothing too major, nothing I'm going to scream at on a $15 knife, I can tell you that much. And then, of course, you have the RoseCraft. Now, this one does have a little bit of, you know, unevenness, some gapping underneath that bone. You know, then there again, some imperfection in the bone or something like that. You know, when you're working with natural materials like that, it can be a little grumpy sometimes. And it can do something that you don't want it to do. And, you know, things like that happen. But the overall, it's on the back side. It's not on the show side. So for me, that is not as big a deal. Obviously, if there was a crack or something like that on the front, obviously that would be a little bit different. It's more visual. You can obviously see it more. And then, of course, I'd obviously have to not like it as much, I would say. But I hope that really kind of gives you the comparison that you were looking for. Yeah. And, you know, like I said, all three of them are designed by Andy Armstrong. Great designs. Andy designed for Rough Rider for a long time. And I'm betting we still see Rough Rider designs coming from Andy because they've been planned out years in advance. Maybe not, but I can pretty much guess that he's still got some Rough Rider designs coming down the line. Would not surprise me one bit at all. So thank you very much, guys. Greatly appreciate it. Had some time to put this together right away, so decided to go right ahead and do it. Guys, I hope you have a tremendous rest of your week. Couple of days left. It's the weekend. Guys, Saturday Knife Live this week. Early. First Saturday of the month. Early SKL. Hope you all can join me 2 p.m. Pacific time. I don't know how I'm going to top last week. Well, I'm not. That's just it. I'm not going to top last week. Last week it was amazing. SKL number 200, New Year's Eve. All of you that were there, again, I can't thank you enough. It was absolutely fantastic. Nelly did all the decorating. You guys showed up in force. It was the largest SKL I've ever had. Fantastic. Thank you guys so very much. So, let me know what you think down in the comments, guys. Let me see did I miss anything? Well, I did miss one thing. The choils. The choils are a little bit bigger on the Rough Riders than they are on the little Riverbend. So there you go. There's another little bit of difference, you know. But really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so very much for stopping by today. As always, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. I'll talk to you later.